Hey, what's up, guys? Man, you are in for a treat today, let me tell you. Today we are making the world-renowned Peruvian ceviche. We're here at the marketplace. We're gonna buy our fresh fish. It's very key that you make sure you get the right fish for the right ceviche. But understand, there's really no wrong fish unless it's an oily fish. But we'll get into that a little later. So let's go inside, come with me, and let's get our fish for today.
So we've taken a look at some of our options that we have here, some of the fish that's on ice from snapper to tilapia, and I think we're going to go with the tilapia. The problem is that some of this has been frozen and it's not really what we want. Now right there in the back, there are these tanks full of fresh tilapia, and that's really what we want for this dish. You always want the freshest fish possible for your ceviche. Trust me, it makes the world of difference. There you go. There's the tanks I was talking about. Now we did tell her we want about 5 of them. Plan on having a few friends over for the ceviche that we are about to make. So I want to make sure that we definitely have plenty for everyone. And there we go. Looks like she's got all 5 of them. And I'm super excited for this. And here we go. We've had our fish cleaned, filleted, and we're ready to take it home. He did ask if I wanted some of the carcass, which normally I would take, but today I'm just going to focus on the ceviche.
All right, guys, so we've got our fish, we've brought it, it's filleted, ready to go. Some of the things that you're gonna need for this dish, very simple. You need some limes, we're gonna need some salt, some cilantro, some red onions, our obvious fish, some sweet potatoes, and if you're able to get your hand on some Peruvian corn is amazing. If not, some good old American sweet corn will do just fine. But this is very traditional, so I wanted to keep today's dish very traditional as well. Now we're going to show you how we make this. All right, guys, so now we're going to start preparing our ceviche. Now, we had talked a little bit before as far as what fish you should use for your ceviche. We're actually going to be using a tilapia. You saw we got it fresh at the market. It was actually just swimming a couple of hours ago. The key with your fish is really the freshness of the fish. You want it as fresh as possible. And you don't want an oily fish either, because then what happens is the juices from the lime can't really dance with the fish per se and penetrate the fish as a whole. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna chop it in cubes, okay? So depending on the size fish that you're using, it's gonna depend on the size cubes that you're gonna use. So for this ceviche, maybe about there, about a medium-sized cube is what we're gonna do, okay? And we're gonna put it into our stainless steel bowl right here, okay? And as we're doing this, understand that ceviche as a whole is not really a recipe as much as it really is a concept, right? And so in saying that, what do I mean? Well, I'm sharing with you the foundation of the ceviche recipe. Now, from here, people in different regions of Peru and other places of South America will expand what they do with their ceviche. We're using, again, a tilapia here. We can do what we call a ceviche mixto, so you would have like squid, you could have scallops, all sorts of different things. Clams is amazing. There's one that's called a ceviche negro, which I absolutely love, and it's made from black clams over in Ilo on the coast of Peru as well. So, but really, again, it being a concept, you never get away from the essence of what ceviche is, right? And it's basically the sea marrying this world of citrus, right? And so we've got about that much fish that we're gonna make our ceviche with right now, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start putting a little bit of salt. Salt is gonna be the first thing that you need to add to your ceviche. The order in which you put things into your ceviche is key. You don't put the lime in first. What happens? The salt in the ceviche opens up the ceviche and it allows the fish to start creating its own juices, and it opens up its pores so it can go ahead and start dancing with all the other flavors. If I was to put the lime juice in first, it's gonna coagulate the fish. It's gonna basically start cooking that fish, and then the flavors can't sink into the fish. So you put the salt in first. Now, we start mixing that salt in with the fish. When ceviche was first developed years and years ago by the fishermen, right, they were making it out at sea. They didn't have access to lime. So really, the ceviche was fish, salt, and onions. Now we're gonna drop our red onions in here. So we've got the salt, the onions. I mean, at this point, you can almost start eating it, but in Peru, we use the ají for everything. It's our chili pepper, kind of what the jalapeno is to Mexico. I don't have the ají that I would normally use for this, so I actually have a habanero that I picked up because you want your pepper to be fresh as well. I cut just a sliver of it. I don't want the seeds, I don't want the vein. I'm not looking for that extra hotness and spiciness, right? There you go. I just kind of diced it up just a little bit in little pieces like that because I want just the essence of the habanero in there. It has a really nice flavor, a really nice taste to it. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna mix that in there as well, just like that. We're gonna add a few more onions. Now from here, you can almost expand this into anything you want. Some people like it a little saltier, some people like it a little spicier, some people wanna add, I don't know, your different other seafoods in here. This is at that point that you would do that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our lime. Now, when you're adding the lime, it's very, very important. I wanna show you something. You don't want this part of the lime. You don't want that. You want just the first juices of your lime, right? Because then you get that, just that not good taste. So you're gonna do just the first juices of your lime. Now here, I've actually juiced a whole bunch of limes already. So I'm just gonna pour that in there. And now is when the magic starts to happen. Now we're mixing this up, okay? My mouth is salivating. In case you guys didn't just hear me, I'm like just salivating because this is so good. It's so refreshing. You guys are gonna absolutely love this recipe. So at this point, you always want, the fish is gonna take at least 20-25 seconds to go ahead and dance with this lime juice. And it'll start turning white here in just a little bit. I'm gonna drop just a little bit more onion in there. And then I'm actually gonna take a little piece. Oh yeah. Now, here's what's key. The ceviche has to be cold. It's a cold dish. I'm gonna grab a couple of ice cubes and I'm gonna drop it in here because while I've been working with the fish and the onions, it's dropped that temperature of the fish, right? Or I'm sorry, it's raised the temperature of the fish. So I wanna drop it back down so it's nice and ice cold. I don't want it frozen, but I want it ice cold. So I'm gonna grab some cubes, drop it in there, mix it up, drop that temperature, and we'll be right back. All right, so I've been tossing some ice in here, dropping that temperature of that fish. So I'm gonna take those ice cubes out. I'm gonna attempt to take the ice cubes out. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and plate this next. Now, when we plate this, we're also gonna put sweet potato by it. In Spanish, we call it a camote. So there's a special way that you cook the sweet potato. I'm gonna put that at the end of this as an added bonus on how to cook it. It's not just in water, and what we use to boil it in is gonna just knock your socks off, but it adds amazing color, it adds amazing flavor to your sweet potato, which again enhances everything to do with the ceviche. So I'm super excited for you guys to try this. We'll be right back as I plate this.
And here's your sweet potato tip of the day. Guys, you're gonna peel your sweet potato, you're gonna slice them, and you're gonna boil them in orange Fanta. That's right, orange Fanta with cinnamon sticks and cloves. You'll thank me later.
All right, guys, so now we're gonna plate this. I put a lettuce leaf down there. Here's our sweet potato that I was talking about. It's gonna add some nice balance to your flavors. We're gonna add our ceviche right there. Look at that. That looks amazing, amazing, amazing. So we're plating it. Now, for anybody that knows anything about ceviche, you know the juices from the ceviche are known as the tiger's milk. So we're gonna add that right over it. Make it nice and juicy. Oh man, this is so good. I'm so excited. Okay, and then the final touch is that corn that I was talking about. We're gonna add a little bit of that corn right here. And there you go, guys. That's your Peruvian ceviche. I'm super excited. We're gonna try this, but before we try this, I wanna make sure if you guys love this, if you guys wanna know how to make more ceviche, more Peruvian dishes, then please make sure you subscribe, comment below, let us know what you think. Make sure you give it a like, make sure you share it. I'm having a ball with you guys and all of your comments that you're sending. So thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's try this. Okay, so now we're gonna try this. Now, any good Peruvian knows you eat ceviche with a spoon, not with a fork. Why? Because you gotta get those juices. So we're gonna get a little bit of sweet potato, a little bit of corn, some of the fish. That's what I'm talking about. You guys have to try this. It's amazing, especially now in the summer. It's amazing. And as always, buen provecho.